So this past weekend went to Aspen, right? Gotta be like probably like the most richest, whitest place in all of America. If we moved there.
Oh,
It's
top
kind of
top five
shocking,
for sure.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hadn't been there before. We got there. We're gonna do a hike and wanted some breakfast. So going to town, and I'm looking for a breakfast burrito, of course. Find this place. Looks very. I think hoity-toity is the only way I can probably describe this little coffee shop
Sure.
breakfast place. Go in, says breakfast burrito on the menu, like $16. Doesn't tell me what's inside of it, but I was like, it's a breakfast burrito. Surely they can't mess this up. So I said I would like a breakfast burrito. I get it. Take a bite. I'm like, it's kind of weird. And I look into it. It's like diced ham, um, scrambled eggs,
Okay.
and broccoli.
Oh,
That's it.
And that was it.
no,
What?
no cheese.
No seasoning. Okay. There might have been some string cheese melted in there.
Oh, God.
And it was in, and the tortilla was one of those spinach wraps. So it was like that green spinach wrap. It
Oh gosh.
was
But was it
the
a spinach tortilla or like actual spinach?
no. It was. Have you seen those like green tortilla guys?
Yeah.
Where I think it's like either spinach infused or something. I don't know how they do it, but
Hmm.
just no seasoning. They didn't have hot sauce there. I was disgusted. I was not good.
And you paid
Not
16
good.
bucks.
Paid $16 for it,
Oh.
so for broccoli and a breakfast burrito.
Well, that is wow. That is such a sad note to start Dom. That's true off. Welcome everybody to Dom. That's true. Let's get it rolling.
If you're doing grub buds, I can hook you up with a place and maybe we can send you a couple and
Oh yeah. Get hook on some of those breakfast burritos.
yeah. Try
Yeah.
them out, see what you think, maybe send it home.
I
Sitting here, I paid
Think about that, man.
$16 and then they give me broccoli.
Yeah,
Like,
diced ham, eggs, broccoli.
was it like
oh gosh.
full broccoli head?
They were it was like chopped, right? So it's like you take a bite and there's like a chunk of broccoli and you're like,
Oh,
that's weird. Okay.
Oh God. Well, welcome everybody to
Yeah.
Dom. That's true. Of course, as always, I'm your host, the most true Steam Machine Steen. As always, I'm joined by the bomb. Say it.
Toplamo!
Owen Dahm, and our special guest today to help us break down the NFC West, pick every single game. We're joined by Chandler, also known as Chandler exclamation point on Spotify, also known as the guy who we've stolen all the music for the intros for Dom That's True, and Two Fat Guys in a Dream. So,
I'm honored. I had no idea before you guys just told me right now. I'm honored. That's great. Hopefully the people like it.
I had messaged in the chat and people were like, yeah, just, or, I think it was, Alex was like, yeah, as long as you just
That's
plug
right,
the
I
links, and
remember.
Emily was like, yes. I guess you just never saw it. Everybody else is like, hey, you're good to do it. And then,
Well, I thought it was like, oh, surely he's just being polite. He won't actually use this, and so that was more my thing. But no, that's great. I'm honored.
yeah. Well, we're excited to break down the NFC West with a fan of probably the worst team in the league. Are you willing to say that?
Yeah, they're definitely gonna try to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so, I guess, real quick. So, you're an Arizona Cardinals fan. Are you in on Kyler Murray, out on Kyler Murray?
You know, I believe that healthy in a competent system, I think he can be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I think he's got the talent for it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I will say that the off-field like rumor stuff that you're hearing with studying and whatnot is not the most inspiring thing, and I think the injury history is also not inspiring. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm incredibly nervous about what will happen if either us or Houston ends up with the worst record in the NFL, and I need to think about Kyler Murray versus Caleb Williams. That's gonna be
That is a huge
be-
question.
Yeah, that'll be something. That'll be something.
Especially when you guys
CJ
is.
Stroud, man, because as we all know, Ohio State quarterbacks, they always work out in the NFL.
You know,
so.
that's true. Damn, I forgot about that. So I guess we have to lose all the games to get Caleb Williams.
That's yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't. We've all seen Kyler Murray be good. He just hasn't been very good lately, and that's just. I don't. It's just weird.
Yeah. And I'm willing to give like part of that being Cliff Kingsbury because I hold the belief that was that 2 years ago we started out that 7-0, 8-0.
Right. Yeah.
We were really rocking and rolling, and I think somewhere around there, NFL defenses just cracked the code or something because
Right.
it seemed from like that point. There was absolutely nothing we could do to get our offense moving at all, consistently or not. And there were some injuries baked in there too with DeAndre Hopkins, and of course the suspensions that he had with PEDs and whatnot. But I think that NFL defenses kind of cracked the code on Cliff, and Kyler couldn't.
Yes.
So
That's fair.
And it's just not a great roster, to be honest. 1-55 is just not a great roster. So what are you gonna do?
Fair enough. Well, I guess you guys are going to go and put on a brave face and play every game, and Kyler Murray's going to, I guess, try to defend his job. You guys paid Kyler Murray, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we paid him pretty good. I think that extension starts kicking in now. But, my hope is, and I think Herbert just signed one. Of course, Hurts signed his. Burrow's going to sign his soon. Trevor's going to sign his soon. I feel like in a couple years, the Kyler deal is going to look relatively normal.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Kyler has not performed the same way as a Hurts, Herbert, Lawrence, or
Burrow.
But,
yeah. Right.
But, it's
plenty.
It is what it is,
yeah.
man. You got to pay your quarterback.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time for him to grow. See, that's a Kyler Murray joke for you there. I thought you'd like that.
So,
Oh, my gosh.
yeah. So looking at his contract, if you were to cut him, like, this year, you'd take a dead cap hit of $97 million.
Well, we have to trade him, right? We wouldn't just lose
Right.
the asset.
Right.
Like,
No, yeah.
Like I think the out plan is you get the first pick. We have like a heart coming to Jesus moment, and we're like, all right, it's time. We're taking Caleb and we're flipping Kyler for a bunch of assets because I don't know. I still feel like there'd be a decent amount of teams in the NFL that would take a shot on Kyler Murray.
That's fair.
As a quarterback, but yeah, we'll see.
You mean like Washington, your first week matchup?
Ooh, they might.
That'd be a good target.
They sure might.
That's fair. Let's get into actually picking the games real quick. I will apologize. I've had my noise canceling headphones on, and apparently my computer has decided to take liftoff. So people will just have fan noise from my mic for like the first, I guess, 10 minutes of this episode for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on with my computer.
Wait. If we're starting Arizona,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry. Yeah, we do typically
Gotta
go.
wear my bias.
Oh.
This section.
Oh, ooh. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I get that on the big screen. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's nice. A little throwback hat. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start it off. Man, this is, oh, God. This is a
We're not
terrible.
going to say a lot of W's here, guys. We're not going to say. Did you notice that the Cardinals have 0 primetime games? Not even a Thursday night football. They have 0 primetime games this year.
Jeez. Oh, boy. Gosh, but, man, what sucks is this really feels like one of their best opportunities to win a game. I wish it wasn't on the road. Yeah, I wish it wasn't on the road.
I mean, Washington does it. Washington was 8-8 last year, 8-1. But like, even with Ron Rivera and with their like quarterback carousel, for some reason they squeeze out wins. I don't know how else to put it. So I don't know. This is an Arizona loss. I don't know what to say.
That's fair. I think Washington keeps on doing this thing where they get like they find a weird niche quarterback who just like actually does good enough for them that they could actually compete, and then they go, yeah, no, I'm out, and so they just get rid of them. So
Yeah.
I don't.
So
It's.
who's the week one? Is it Sam Howell?
I think it's Sam Howell. I think they've given him the keys to the castle. But it's weird. Like Taylor Heineke could probably take the Commanders to the playoffs. Am I crazy? Am I the only one who thinks that? Yeah, right.
He looked like almost did. So
yeah, in a full year of him not messing with, God, I forgot Carson Wentz was there. God, is Carson Wentz still over there? God, it's such a stupid team.
Is he?
I don't know where Carson Wentz is. He's got to be. I didn't hear him getting picked up anywhere.
I think he's the backup somewhere.
But it's also like I didn't hear Mariota go to the Eagles, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, weird. I guess that makes sense.
He has a nice backup there.
Yeah.
So, okay, something before we get too deep. I don't know how much it'll influence your decision on the Cardinals' record here, but based on what I'm seeing, best case scenario for Kyler to get back is week 4.
Okay.
Against San Francisco on the road.
Okay.
And it seems like a more realistic return date for him is week 7 against Seattle. Just as some stuff that I saw.
That does feel like the more realistic, but I wouldn't even be shocked if they held him until he could start at home against like Baltimore there.
Right. Yeah. Let him get a start at home. So
why throw him into the Wolves? But it's a division game. You should be more prepared for division games. So you have this as a loss. Oh, and do you have this as a loss as well for Arizona?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, I don't think the Cardinals' O-line is very good, and the Commanders have a very good O-line. D-line.
Fair enough.
But just confirm, guys. Carson Wentz, unsigned free agent right now.
Unsigned free agent. I get the feeling he's going to remain unsigned.
Yeah.
Man,
he'll remain unsigned until 2 quarterbacks get injured, and then he'll go in and win a couple games, and he'll Baker Mayfield himself and do a new job. It's very obvious.
I guess. Okay, week 2, they get to come back home. They get to face the New York Giants.
Take a fat L in front of the home crowd.
I think that's an L as well.
Daniel Dimerson.
Yep.
So,
who is the backup for the Cardinals?
Colt McCoy, who actually
Colt McCoy is still there. God,
yep. He was actually okay for us last year. He won a couple games for us. So he's of the backup quarterbacks in the NFL. I definitely say he's one of the better ones. But again, not a great roster. I think Hollywood Brown's a pretty serviceable wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I'd prefer him be your second best wide receiver than your best wide receiver, but it is what it is.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. We have Zach Ertz on our squad too, and he's always really good.
That's right.
But he got hurt late in the season last year, and I'm not sure when he's going to be healthy and ready to come back.
I saw he was at the U.S. Women's National Team game.
I think his wife plays on the team, right?
Yeah, Julie Ertz. So he's got to be hurt because it means he's not in the training camp.
Over the next 2 years, this year and into 2024, so from 2022, 2024, the Cardinals are giving Colt McCoy $6 million guaranteed with a possibility of 7.
Yeah, we re-signed him this offseason because we knew Kyler's going to be out.
So you know what? I'm actually going to switch mine to taking Arizona for a W in week 2. I think we're gonna have a weird, stupid Colt McCoy, Daniel Jones.
Pull something out.
Yeah, where for whatever reason the football gods say, because me and Owen do this a lot, is what we realized last year is that like our good teams we had at like 14, 15, 16 wins, and we're like, okay, these teams aren't going to win that many games. And then our bad teams we had like 1, 2, 1, and then that also just doesn't happen as much. So I don't think the Cardinals are going to be historically bad this year. So I think they've got to win some dumb games, and I think this is going to be one of them.
Sure. Yeah.
I still don't.
Yeah, I
don't blame you for that.
But I think you're right. I mean, more often than not, when you're looking at these, NFL games are way more close than they are like huge blowouts, right? There's an incredible amount of parity, and there's a lot of randomness that happens. Like a random turnover can really flip it, where maybe the not as good team squeaks out with the win.
The Chiefs and the Texans went to overtime last year.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Chiefs and the Titans.
And the Chiefs and the Titans. God, the
That's
AFC
right.
South. I hate playing the
Chiefs and
AFC
Titans
South.
Coolest game.
Yeah, Chiefs and Titans went to second possession of overtime.
And then-
NFL's a crazy league.
And the Chiefs, I guess they won, I think, on their first possession in overtime against the Texans. And the words I said as they handed it off to Jerick McKinnon was like, oh my God, fucking Jerick McKinnon is in. They're going to hand it off and he's going to get like 2 yards. And then he just busted off like a 25-yard run and the game was over. And I was like, well, all right, fair enough. Who am I?
I remember that. That was in Braden's basement. That was terrible.
Yep.
I hated watching that game.
No, that was awful. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Week 3, they're at home against Dallas. This is an L. Plain and simple. I think we did when we pick 72 games. Sometimes we don't have to say much about some games, and that's one of those games.
Yeah.
Speaking of one of those games, they're at San Francisco the following week. Also an L.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it used to be the NFC West was always kind of weird, where no matter what, teams are always splitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the Cardinals are bad or Seattle was bad, or even when San Francisco had a couple weird bad years in there, everyone was splitting games with everybody. But I think the Niners are really asserting themselves. I don't know if anyone's going to be
Mark
taking
this
a
game
dub
down
from
as a
them.
W for me, Truman.
Mark this game as a W for you?
Wow.
The next one.
Oh, what?
Wow. The anti-Burrow bias. Coming.
Come on, dog. No way. Are you really picking?
I'm gonna pick Cincinnati.
Bro.
I'm gonna pick Cincinnati for like 14 and a half wins. Like I have to choose some stupid shit.
Colt
And
McCoy
this is the
against
stupid
Joe
one?
Burrow.
Yeah,
Maybe Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, calf injury this week. Could be calf strain. He's going to miss at least probably the rest of training camp and the preseason. We'll see if he's ready for week 1.
I heard it wasn't that serious. Is it serious?
I mean, he got carted off. I mean,
You don't know?
it was a calf,
When I heard
but it's a
that,
calf strain. It's not.
So-
He didn't tear his ACL or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But the thing is, the day before, 2 days before, he had no compression sleeve. Yesterday, he had on a compression sleeve. Well, today he had on a compression sleeve to suggest that he injured it the day before, and then he had to get carted off today. Not good.
Some very interesting stuff. Yes, it's not as serious as they thought. You know, it's not as bad as it looks. You know, when a guy goes and starts to explodes out of the pocket and then comes up limping with no contact. But, you know, it could probably at least he's gonna lose some continuity through training camp and preseason. It won't help them, I think, you know. So.
Oh, but yeah, no, I'm joking. Cincinnati's still winning that game. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, fair enough. All right. The following week, they are at the Los Angeles Rams. Let me put this on the record. I am not very high on the Rams.
Wow.
I don't think they got. So Matthew Stafford should be fully healthy, right? But even in that year that they won the Super Bowl, he wasn't incredible per se.
He was really good in the playoffs, but leading up to the playoffs, yeah, it was a little shaky here and there.
Yeah, I guess you hope Aaron Donald is back to form, but Aaron Donald's getting older also. And just once defensive tackles start to have health issues, it doesn't, I don't know. It wasn't like if it was like a back or something, oh man, DTs and back issues, once that starts to flare up, you might as well just send them out to pasture. So, but I think they're still going to be good. I think they're still going to be good enough to win this game. But I just want it on the record that I do not believe in the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah. They still have a cup, and a cup can do very, very many powerful things. But I think you're onto something with Aaron Donald, and especially, I think he benefited a lot that Super Bowl year, having Leonard Floyd and Von Miller also on the pass rush with him.
Yeah.
Because then you can't double team all of them, right? And
Right.
this year, they might be able to just triple team Aaron Donald. So even like a healthy Aaron Donald, right? They can give him the full attention that he deserves.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting him to be double covered every single pass rush. So
Yeah.
But for the record, Rams wins.
Oh. So you do have
Rams.
Oh.
Rams wins.
Sorry. Oh.
Cardinals
Okay. Oh, and
Yeah, this is a rough starting 6 here for the Cardinals.
Well,
I mean, all these teams are good, right? A lot of them are playoff teams, or so, and you don't have a starting quarterback or a good roster. So what are you gonna do?
I see a couple W's on the horizon here, but let's keep going. Week 7, they are at Seattle, October 22nd. This is an L. I think Seattle is going to be good enough maybe to sneak into the wild card again, and I don't think the Cardinals are that good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. It's a tough start for
This does seem like the game that Kyler might come back. This one or the next one. But again, yeah, I think this is a Cardinals lost Seattle game. Seattle's a hard place to play, and Seattle's pretty good.
Fair. The following week, they are back at home against Baltimore. Again, a team I'm not very high on. I think will be fighting for a wild card in the AFC. So again, I'd have to put them better than the Cardinals, but they're on the road. Odell Beckham Jr. What is it? Week 9 or week 8? Will Odell Beckham Jr. still be playing by week 8?
Yeah, Ravens are such a injury bug team.
Yeah.
And it's hard to forget that whenever you're looking at Baltimore games. But I have to assume, we're only 8 weeks into the season at this point. I had hoped the majority of that team is together, and then they just got that, they drafted that new wide receiver.
They got Zay Flowers.
Yeah, Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
And I feel like all training camp news is always like, this guy's coming out of nowhere. He looks like he's going to be amazing. And it's like, yeah, so does every single... I've heard 32 other teams tell me the exact same thing about their rookies. But,
yes,
it seems like there's a lot of hype and excitement around the Zay Flowers kid. So,
interesting.
And Lamar back and healthy, Mark Andrews. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I did catch one of those a couple years ago when it was Chris Godwin. In his rookie season, they're like, Chris Godwin is crazy, and it was some slow motion replay of him rotating in the air and catching a ball behind, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna draft him in fantasy, and it worked out.
There you go. All right, so sometimes the hype's real.
Sometimes they got that dog in them. Owen, Baltimore or Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona's gonna win. I'm not a Baltimore believer at all.
Wow.
Baltimore going on the road, plus Arizona gets the Kyler buff. Their stadium's going to be full for once. And, I'm not a Baltimore believer. Right. And we have to pick some wins for the Cardinals.
I know. So far, we're 8 weeks into the season. Chandler has picked 0 wins, and me and Owen have both picked 1. This is eerily, again, we talked about this before the show started. We talked about last year with our AFC South friend who picked the Texans to win 1 or 2 games, and we were like, come on, they're gonna do it, and he was like, no. And we're having a similar situation here. But week 9, they are at Cleveland, a team also that I do not believe is going to rebound well. I'm going to pick Arizona to win this game.
West Coast team going east, probably a noon game.
Not a full West Coast, though, right? Arizona's in Mountain Time, or they're on that weird... We
have no time zone, or no daylight savings, so they go back and forth.
Right.
Pacific. So, who knows?
What are they in at that point?
What's the date?
November 5th? Yeah.
When's daylight savings? I grew up in Phoenix, so I don't know when daylight savings is. So
fuck. Daylight savings is in... September, I want to say. Hold on. When is daylight savings time?
All I know about Arizona is that if you drive across it a certain way, you have to change your clock 9 times.
Jesus Christ, would you believe that daylight savings time ends on November 5th?
Oh my gosh.
So I guess, so when you guys aren't in daylight savings time, are you guys on Pacific then? Or you,
Arizona.
Right now, what is Arizona in?
They're in Pacific.
They're in Pacific right now?
November 5th, they're going to switch over to Mountain.
Right, but for all intents and purposes, on November 5th, they'll still be in the Pacific state of mind. Yeah.
Pacific state of mind.
Wait, do we gain an hour or lose an hour?
We fall back. You gain an hour. Spring is the one that sucks. Spring sucks.
Give me an Arizona dub.
Wait, Cleveland gets an extra hour of sleep.
Get an extra hour of sleep.
Cleveland gets an extra hour of sleep.
Arizona gets a almost 2
Oh.
hours ish.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. You know, I'm not sure how that math works out, but I'm willing to agree.
Guys, I wanted to give this one a win. I think this is. I felt this game was like a toss-up. I think Cleveland's still decent enough that they'll squeeze this one out at the road,
Nice.
or at home in Cleveland. So I'm saying this is an Arizona loss.
You think Cleveland steams them, huh? Thank you. I'll be here all week. Thank you.
You have to remember that Deshaun Watson is going to be in prison by the time this game is played.
Bro, I hope.
He should be. But he will not.
Yeah, I don't want him to. I don't want him to return to form, but I can't deny that it could happen that he could return to form.
God.
Well, I would halfway love that because then they would get to play the Bengals,
No.
but I could still talk all the shit I want to more relevant teams.
There you go.
That's fair. That's fair. We need anybody to beat the Bengals. We'll appreciate any dubs there. Okay. Following week, they're back at home against Atlanta. This has got to be a W, right? Listen, this team isn't going winless. They're not going 0-17. They have to beat Atlanta at home. This has got to be a W.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yep. I think this is their first dub. It's at home. Kyler's had a couple weeks back from injury. At this point, I hope. We played Atlanta last year on the road, and we lost by 1 point. And I think that was a backup quarterback, Colt McCoy game late in the season. So I feel like we win this game at home with Kyler Murray.
I like that. The following week, they are at Houston on November 19th. This has also got to be a W. I think this is, again, you've got to get your W's where you can. I don't trust C.J. Stroud to progress. I don't think that style of quarterback, I think it can succeed at this point in the NFL, but I think as you saw with Jalen Hurts or even like Lamar Jackson, his rookie year, both were not great rookie year, but they found it later on after the offense had time to adjust to them and adapt to them. Also, first-year coach was it D'Amico Ryans in Houston? So I'm out. I'm not. Again, teams I'm not big on, the Houston Texans. So yeah, give me Arizona.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Give me Houston.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, I can't have Arizona winning 4 in a row.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I think they keep the momentum from last week, and they go into Houston and they win. We played Houston a couple years ago and we killed them. I think they were during our 8-0 streak back when we looked like a competent team. But yeah, I think we go into Houston and we win. I feel like they are very openly in a rebuild, and our quarterback's better. So.
Fair. The following week, they're back at home against the Rams. God, I hate this. I think I have to pick the Cardinals here also.
I'm also picking the Cardinals.
As somebody who said he's not a Rams believer, I think I have to pick the Cardinals here.
Yep, I'm taking Cards here too. We split with the Rams last year, and I feel like it's very likely we split with the Rams again this year. Same thing. I feel like there's carried on momentum, that there is at least some sort of animosity and frustration. There is a weird Phoenix LA thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, there's some energy there. So
two of the top 5 populated cities in the U.S. That makes sense. Yep. A little bit of a rivalry there. The following week, they get to host Pittsburgh, December 3rd.
This is away. I thought, isn't it?
Oh shoot, you might have. You might be right. I might have this written down wrong. I did do this quickly last night when I was tired. I could be. Am I foolish? Am I a fool? Arizona Cardinals. Maybe.
Yeah.
I hate whenever
away.
I type in.
Cards are away.
Cards are away. Sorry. Okay. They are.
So it's in Pittsburgh in December.
Oh, then especially. Oh, this is especially
you
W.
typed in Cardinals versus Steelers and it auto-corrected the Super Bowl.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, wow, you really had to bring that up. See, I wouldn't even bring it up.
Man.
You wouldn't bring up one of the greatest Super Bowl catches of all time.
Just the greatest Super Bowls of all time. What a game, you know?
Yeah, it was great.
That was one of the
I
weird
think
ones
it was
where I
like-
didn't have a party that year. I
Should be
don't
only
know
have one
why.
foot in them, but it's fun. This is a Cardinal loss. Pittsburgh in December, and Mike Tomlin has some sort of deal with some demon where he has to have a winning season, despite how good or bad his team is.
Yep.
So he's going to win this game.
That's fair.
You know what Mike Tomlin says is conventional logic, right?
What?
Unconventional.
He says, "We do not care."
That's fair. Okay, so week 14 is their bye week. It means they've played 13 games up to this point. So Chandler has them at 3-10 up to this point. Owen has them at 4-9, and I have them at 5-8. Weird.
I think you can pencil them in as a loss for this week too.
On the bye week, they're gonna lose the bye week.
Yeah, I
think that's fair.
Taking an L on that one.
I think that's fair. But the following, coming off the bye week, they do get San Francisco at home. And if they were ever going to have their best shot at San Francisco, it's probably after a bye week and hosting them at home. But I think it's still a Cards loss.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep. Niners are they're pretty nasty, man. Maybe something weird happens and we can squeeze something out off of a bye week. Maybe, Niners are also one of those injury-prone franchises, it feels like. I don't know why, but I feel like they always have someone important hurt on their team. So maybe it's a weird, fluky injury week. I don't know, but I would expect the Niners to win this game.
Gotcha. Christmas Eve, they are in Chicago to face the Bears. We have actually already picked the NFC North. We make sure that our picks go across equally, so across all sheets. So me and Owen have already picked the NFC North. So I have this already as a Cardinals loss. Owen already has this as a Cardinals W. So Chandler, you get to be the tiebreaker here.
I'm giving it a win.
Whoa!
I don't think the Bears are that good. Now, I did not quite realize that this was a Christmas Eve game in Chicago. So
cold, very
cold. The thing that gives me some hope is we did play Chicago in Chicago 2 years ago, and it was like it's one of those 40-degree pouring rain games. It was really kind of nasty.
God.
And we still beat them by multiple scores. So I think it's a dub. While we're here, though, how are we feeling about Justin Fields, guys? Can we take a temperature check in the room? Because I don't know if you guys saw the NFL Top 100 list.
I saw they ranked him 85 or whatever.
Yeah. Did you know he's better than Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence is at 96.
I thought that was a little interesting.
I don't even know. Listen, Justin Fields this year is going to be, and I guess it's all based on the players' rankings. So the players are... I will say I am not very high on Trevor Lawrence. I maybe agree with the players in that I don't see what everybody sees about him that they're all in love with at this point. But at the same time, Justin Fields has not asserted himself enough. But he can flummox defenses and just, I feel like, cause problems with his legs. He had the top running season for a quarterback ever last year. I think he's going to be a great fantasy quarterback, but I think he's going to be terrible everything else quarterback.
Also on that list, Mark Andrews dropped 48 spots to 80, down from what I guess was 32 last year.
He was hurt all of last year, and he's a tight end. And he's getting old, so I don't.
And he has a running back throwing to him. So
all right. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Come on now.
He is an MVP throwing to him.
Yeah, an MVP against the Bengals.
Okay.
Don't get me started on Lamar's fraud-ass MVP season. We all know. Over 35% of his production against one team is not an MVP season.
Fair enough. Sorry. I have my windows open to the hotel parking lot right now, and somebody was walking in and apparently was waving at, either had to be the window next to me or, above me, and I thought he was waving at me, so I waved back, and then he blew a kiss, and then I was like, okay, this definitely was not to me. So I'm actually going to get up. While you guys talk about this Philadelphia, the at Philadelphia game on New Year's Eve, I'm going to close my blinds for the parking lot.
Well, you're in a big surprise for this one. Cardinals on the road in Philadelphia on New Year's Eve in a freezing cold. They're walking away with a big L.
Big fat L.
I hate to agree with you, but I agree with you.
Now,
it's really unfortunate this game wasn't one game from now, because if it was one game from now, there's a possibility that the Eagles could have been playing Marcus Mariota at quarterback instead.
Ooh.
wow. That's
Which
true.
means you would have lost by 14.
Yeah.
Now, last year we played Philly at home, and we lost this game by 1 point, and we lost it because our kicker missed like a 35-yard game-winning field goal.
I'll say I thought I remembered it being like I thought they made a field goal against you. I forgot that you guys missed a dumb field goal.
We missed the game winner with only a few seconds left.
Oh my
Definitely
god!
should have won that game. It was very early in the season last year before everyone got injured and things got really rough, and before Philly I guess Philly was kind of rolling the whole season, but something weird happened early in the season last week when they played, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen week 6.
Yeah, but people didn't really believe in Philly at that point. Everybody's like, well, Philly's going to lose, and then they kind of just kept winning, going, Philly could be okay. And then they were in the Super Bowl, and everybody's like, I guess they're going to beat the Chiefs by a lot, and then they lost. So once everybody started to believe in Philly needs everybody to doubt them.
It's true.
The whole way.
Underdog City, man.
Right. But everybody's like, no, dude, it's just Patrick Mahomes is hurt. No way. But we all saw how it went. Pretty good stuff. See, these preview shows are much more fun to do whenever we're the defending Super Bowl champs. It's a lot easier to.
Yeah. I wouldn't know, so that's good to know. That's how
never,
it feels.
never know.
Yeah.
But they do get to close out the season with a home game against the Seattle Seahawks. This is intriguing to me. But I think the Seahawks can be fine for an NFC wildcard spot, so I think they're going to play their damnedest. And I think they're going to come out with a W.
Yeah, I have to give this one to Seattle as well. I think 5-12 is a good spot for Seattle, unless
Arizona.
all of their draft picks last year turn out to be actually good instead of how they played last year. So.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think this is a Seattle win. Same thing. I think we're going to be fighting for a wild card spot here. And Cardinals Week 18, we're either shutting Kyler down or trying to lock up a number 1 pick for Mr. Caleb Williams. So,
true.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting. If they go 5-12, I don't think they're going to get their shot at Caleb Williams, and I think Kyler Murray will be safe for one more year.
Yeah, but we also have Houston's first round next year. So, so that's the thing, right?
Then that could work out.
And honestly, if we don't get low enough, if we don't get the number 1 for Caleb, there's Marvin Harrison Jr. sitting down there as well.
Dude! I wish the Chiefs were bad. Just 1 year. I wish they could get the number 2 pick and still win the Super Bowl. Just so we could have a shot at Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, so I feel like it's kind of a win-win. I think this season will be interesting to see because we got brand new coaching staff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Curious to see what the hell Jonathan Gannon can do and if it really was Cliff's fault with all of this. So we'll see. It's a rebuild. So.
Well, didn't you hear people wanted to put Cliff Kingsbury in jail for not winning a national championship with Patrick Mahomes? So.
Not even having a winning record with Patrick Mahomes, by the way.
Yeah. So that I think that's not having a winning record in college and having one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL as your college quarterback, I think that kind of speaks to maybe the offensive mind that we're working with here. So at least I hope.
A quarterback whisperer. He must be. He must be a quarterback whisperer.
He's young with cool sunglasses.
I knew Patrick Mahomes. Oh, okay. Well, you're our head coach now. All right. So for the season, me and Owen both have the Cardinals at 5-12. Chandler puts them at a crisp 4-13, and as a group, we have them at 5-12. So I think that's very fair all around. I don't think anybody's gonna lose any
I
sleep
wouldn't
tonight.
be surprised if they won 2 or 3 more games though.
I think
I
Vegas
would
has
be.
them at 5.5.
I think
So
this show would have you taking the under. I think so.
yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. Let's move on. Let's.
4.5. Sorry.
Oh gosh. Oh, we're right on it then. Oh no.
Changes everything.
Jeez. Well, put your money where your mouth
Changes
is.
everything.
We are.
I am Vegas.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Los Angeles Rams schedule. Next up on the docket, as we continue going alphabetical order, they get to open up their season September 10th at Seattle. Oh, this has got to be an L.
I'm thinking loss here too.
Else.
I mean,
Seattle's good.
It's a good Seattle
Place to
team.
play.
I am not a believer in the Rams, so I'm going to. I can't pick them to win that opening game. That second week, they get to come back home and face San Francisco. How? So the question is going to
They
become, how
always
in are we
play-
on San Francisco?
Yeah, like they always play San Francisco well. Like Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay always play each other very well. I
Mhm.
just truly think San Francisco is just a juggernaut.
This year.
So I think this is a Rams loss.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to go with you
the
here.
Rams, the Niners took them both times, and this is with
Yeah.
Garoppolo at the helm last year.
But it was
Game
also
really
with
close.
whoever their backup was for whoever was quarterback at the time. Was it Warford?
No.
And then Baker at some point? I don't know. I don't even know who the quarterback was half the year.
Yeah, it was Stafford both times actually.
Really? Okay. Well, jeez.
What's
Wait,
it?
hold on. I'm looking at
No,
this.
you're lying.
No, yeah, it was Stafford both times.
Was
That's
it?
right, this year.
Was it really?
Yeah, and so the Niners beat him down 31-14 and 24-9. Only one of those teams has gotten better since then, like significantly better. And that is the Niners, which is they got rid of Garoppolo, huge
Garaggio, no.
plus,
Yeah.
and then fucking added Christian McCaffrey to their already incredible running game. So only one of those teams got better, so it had to be managed.
Okay. Week 3, they are at Cincy. Again, if Joe Burrow is sidelined, I still think the Rams lose this game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rams lose Monday Night Football.
yeah.
Fair enough. The following week, though, they are at Indianapolis, and I think this has to be one of your W's. I think this Indy team is in a rebuild, obviously, and I don't think they have many pieces. I mean, they've got Anthony Richardson. I'm very excited to see what Anthony Richardson does, but if Indy is smart, he will not be playing yet at this point, but Indy is very rarely smart.
So.
No,
I don't think so.
I think he should. I think anybody, especially somebody who's such a raw talent at the position, I think would absolutely, as us Chiefs fans can attest, would absolutely benefit from waiting a year and learning under a pro NFL NFL caliber starting quarterback and learning about what's going on.
Who's their starter?
Is it Nick Foles? Is Nick
That's
Foles on that
that's
team?
what I was gonna check. Nick Foles always kind of seems to be on this team, I think. Well, I guess Carson Wentz isn't on this team, so maybe Nick Foles isn't on this team.
Oh,
Says-
Sam Ellinger is the other quarterback.
Sam Allen.
Oh, God, that's the other quarterback. They didn't
Matt
sign.
I don't think it's there.
Oh,
It says Nick Foles was on the Colts last year, but I don't know if he's still on.
oh, Gardner. No, Gardner Minshew's there.
Gardner Minshew.
See,
I don't know.
I'd ride with Gardner Minshew for a season. As tough as it's going to be, I think you stunt quarterbacks' growths when you just put him out there.
I feel like if there is an environment where you want to do it, he's got a great running back, and they've got a decent offensive line with Quentin Nelson,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I feel like and the Colts want to be bad, and they want to get him some reps. I feel like it would make sense to start him earlier than later. You probably don't want to win too many games, and you have a nice running back to rely on, and you've got a good enough O-line. You're not just going to be trashing your future franchise quarterback. So I don't know. I could see it both ways, but I understand your Mahomes bias on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Richardson, Minshew, and Ellinger. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
Man,
Yeah,
I
no.
guess you start Minshew then, right? If I think Minshew is probably the best quarterback on that roster.
Yeah, as it stands today, I would rather have Gardner Minshew start. But as it stands
Okay.
next year, I'd probably rather have Anthony Richardson for the rest of their careers. All of them.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think this is a Rams win.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough. We're all in
Okay.
agreement. The following week, they get to host the defending NFC champions in Philadelphia, or in Los Angeles, but the defending NFC champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. October 8th, I am going to give this to the Eagles.
Agreed.
Oh,
Eagles need to lose some games,
no. No.
but not this week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, their coaching staff did get cleaned out. I would know. My team was a recipient of their DC, so
It's true.
you know,
It's true.
And I think coaching staffs are maybe a little more significant than people like to realize. I think you guys with Andy Reid head coach and a Mangini OC probably appreciate that more than most. But I do think coaching staffs have a pretty big deal in the NFL. So, but we'll see. You know,
Matt,
Eagles are pretty damn good. So.
Matt Nagy, OC?
Oh right, sorry.
The enemy.
Oh, I thought he was QB.
Bieniemy got sniped. Bieniemy, nobody will hire him as a head coach, so he went to Washington to go and prove that he can be an offensive coordinator somewhere else and be the head coach in waiting in case Ron Rivera gets fired. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So now Matt Nagy is back to being offensive coordinator. And a little secret about Matt Nagy is he is a great offensive coordinator. That is.
Yeah, I think he's pretty decent. I'm kind of shocked the Bears fired him, but you know what are you gonna do?
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
you know,
So
hire Matt Eberflus. Whatever. You know his name.
who cares?
The following week, October 22nd, they get to host the Pittsburgh Steelers. I actually have this as a Rams W. Again,
I was also thinking W.
they've got to get W somewhere, and
Took a dub on
Pittsburgh.
this team.
And Pittsburgh is going to lose games, and I think this has to be one of the. It just has to be for both of these teams. This has to be the outcome. I think. I just get the
I
feeling.
think Pittsburgh is the most like painfully okay team in the NFL. They're gonna
Yes.
be like they're gonna be 500. They're gonna be just
There's a whole
okay.
bunch of stuff
They could be
going
the
on.
seventh wild card in the AFC. People are trying to gas them up, and I just don't under. The USA Today picked them as a better record than the Chiefs. So
They have one of the biggest fan bases in the NFL, so yeah, they're gonna get a lot of offseason hype.
Yeah. Yeah, the USA Today picked the Pittsburgh Steelers at 11-6 and the Kansas City Chiefs at 10-7. So, just to let you know what's going on over there.
Did they trade away Kenny Pickett? What'd they do?
For Patrick Mahomes apparently.
For Patrick Mahomes, yeah, what'd they do?
Fucking, I want some of the crack they're smoking. But the following week, October 29th, they're at Dallas. This is an L. This Dallas team is going to be good, not great, but it's going to be good enough to win this game.
I agree.
Owen?
I mean, they were 12-5 last year. I mean, Dallas. I mean, they're maybe a fraudulent 12-5, but they won 12 games. So.
And with Dak Prescott hurt for a portion of that season too.
Yeah, that's right. The weird Cooper Rush fanboys. I think I remember.
People-
He's better than Dak, and then he laid an egg, and then I'm like, oh, maybe not.
All right, bring him back. Whatever. The following week, they are at Green Bay. Me and Owen have already picked this game because we did our NFC North breakdown. I picked the Packers to win. Owen picked the Rams to win. Chandler, you get to be the tiebreaker again.
We're gonna Rams dub.
Whoa.
I don't know. I had very little faith in Jordan Love.
That's fair. You don't love him.
Don't
Hey,
love
but his
Love.
family sat in the top deck in Arrowhead Stadium.
That is so funny.
All right, this changes everything.
Exactly.
All right, so they have their bye week. I believe that is week 10. Am I good at counting? 6, 8. Yeah, week 10. Into the bye week, I have them at 3-6. Owen has them at 4-5, and Chandler has them at 4-5. So, interesting. I'm the one who's. I said before we started here that I was low on the Rams, and here we are. I'm low on the Rams. Okay. Out of the bye week, though, they do get to host the Seattle Seahawks, and again, I think this is going to be one of those games that the Seahawks lose that makes them say, oh, what could have been, man, we could have had a run at the division, or we could have man, we could have been playing the 2 seed instead of the 3 seed, or the 3 seed instead of the 2 seed. But now we're the last wild card spot in because we lost that stupid game against the Rams. And I think this is that situation on November 19th where the Rams get to host the Seattle Seahawks. I have this as a Rams W.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the Rams as well. Seattle's going to be a weird streaky team.
It's a toss-up. Whoever's the favorite doesn't cover the spread.
I'm higher on Seattle than I think you guys are. I'm going with the Rams loss here. Seattle win.
Fair enough. The following week, they are at the Arizona Cardinals, November 26th. We've all already picked this game as a loss for the Rams. So we'll move on to December 3rd, Cleveland. They get to host Cleveland at home. And if I believe that the Arizona Cardinals can go on the road and beat Cleveland, I certainly believe that the Los Angeles Rams, who should be a little bit better, can host the Cleveland Browns and beat them.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to win this too. The Rams just had the most injured season of all time last year as well. So.
Yep, agreed. I think at home they beat a Cleveland team.
Now they go to at Baltimore, and Owen, you're a hater, but I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens here.
I'm also going to pick the Ravens. West Coast team going east, baby.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep. This is a Baltimore win for me. Late in the year, Baltimore, crappy weather against the Dome LA team.
Yep.
But they do get to pick it up the following week, December 17th. They get to host the Washington Commanders in Week 15. I have this as a Rams W.
Me too.
Same here.
I think that Commanders team is going to be a bad, capital B, a bad. The following week, December 21st, they are back at home against New Orleans. This is an intriguing matchup. Yeah, I wish this was like week 4, so I had a better, because this I believe is a measuring stick game for both teams, where we know how good they're going to be. Thursday night football game.
Short week, but Rams are also staying home.
Give me New Orleans.
Rams are staying home. Owen's going New Orleans. Chandler, where are you going?
I'm going Rams. I think
damn it.
Short week, but they stay home, and I kind of view this as a toss-up game, and I think if it was in New Orleans, I might give this a loss. But I think because it's in LA on a short week, I think I might give it to the Rams.
Ugh, man, I really want to believe in the Saints in that division. God, that makes it really hard. Because the Saints are probably the best team in the NFC South. Can we agree on that here on this show?
Unless Bryce Young does something very unexpected, I would think so.
Okay. Or Desmond Ridder, I guess, technically, could also. Or Baker Mayfield, fucking wild card. What if he has a career renaissance? God, that's got to be the worst quarterback division.
Derek Carr's still good, so.
But there's just no hope. I mean, I guess there's hope in Bryce Young, but I don't know, man.
Is Alvin Kamara going to jail? Is he going to play?
No, he's famous. I assume he's not going to jail.
He had that whole some kind of altercation thing over the Pro Bowl weekend, like a year or two ago or something.
Yeah, and we're still dealing with it. It's very weird, but I think he pleaded not guilty or pleaded guilty and got some deal or something. I want to say.
Yeah, as of March, he pleaded not guilty to him and 3 other men beating somebody unconscious outside of a Las Vegas strip club.
Yes. Yeah. Oddly enough, Owen, can you name the chief who was with him? No longer a chief, but not because of this, just because he ended up not going.
Frank Clark?
It was Chris Lamons, Owen. A weird...
Once a Raider, always a Raider.
Weird situation. Chris Lamons, a Chiefs special teamer, was hanging out with Alvin Kamara and beat the shit out of somebody at a Vegas nightclub. Just very, very weird.
This sounds like people believe that he could receive a 6-game suspension. Obviously, we'll past week 6, but
that's fair. Well, although it could be like the God, who had that really weird suspension where it was Frank Clark. Frank Clark randomly they're didn't pass down a punishment, and then all of a sudden Week 3, they're like, we're suspending him for 4 games. And we were like, what? We're like, why now? You guys had all opposite. What are we doing? It was so dumb. God. Yeah. You know what? Give me.
Tough game. I really think it is.
It is a toss-up game. This is hard. I hate to be the tiebreaker here. Actually, give me the Saints. I'm going to believe in the Saints just enough. Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara are just... That's such a good skill position group. And the Rams are just so depleted on the offense that I just...
I think they still have Tyrann Mathieu, too, on defense.
Yeah.
Is Cam Jordan still there, too?
I think so. I assume, unless he's retired, and I think we would have heard more if he would have retired.
New head coach in their second year now, so hopefully you'd expect second year in a brand new system.
A little continuity.
Yeah.
I think Derek Carr is like an Alex Smith type where he can, take a team good enough.
To the playoffs.
Yeah. He's not going to threaten to win a Super Bowl, but he can threaten the playoffs. Their New Year's Eve game against the New York Giants. It's in New York. How low am I on the Rams? How high am I on the Giants? Do I believe, like a lot of people, that the Giants are...
I don't know.
There is a New York element. You know what? They're going east. Give me the Giants.
New York on Christmas. That's going to be cold for the LA indoor boys.
That is going to be cold for the LA indoor games. Indoor boys. Loss. It's a loss.
Yep.
Fair enough. All have it as an L. In the final week of the season, they are at San Francisco. This is quite simply just an L.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that puts the Rams at 6. I put them at 6-11, and you guys both put them at 7-10. And as a group, we have picked them at 7-10. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Guys, we're killing it. Vegas is 6.5 on the Rams.
Man, what is that? We are all over Vegas on for the NFC West. We are chalk. We are picking straight chalk over here.
No, Truman, this is called picking correctly. Okay.
Chalk.
Vegas would look at our bracket.
So rich.
Vegas would look at our bracket and say, "Nice job." That's what they would do.
Correct. It is.
You passed.
You did it.
All right.
All right. Now for the heavy hitter of the division, the one that we all believe is probably going to be the division winner. The San Francisco 49ers. Finally, we get to them. They get to open their season September 10th at the Pittsburgh Steelers. A W. Week 2, they are at the Los Angeles Rams. We've all already picked this game, and we all picked it as a W. Week 3, they get to come back home and host the New York Giants. This is a W. Oh, it's Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Short week, but still. It's a dub.
Wow. Week 4, they are also at home. They get to face the Arizona Cardinals. We all already picked this as W, so we all have them starting out 4-0. Week 5.
Here we go.
This game will be hyped. This game will be exciting. They get to host. It is Sunday Night Football. They get to host the Dallas Cowboys. God. You know what? Ugh. Man, this is hard.
I chose Dallas to lose all their close ones. They're coming out with a W this time.
Coming out. A W for Dallas?
Yep. It's tough.
Wow.
It's tough.
You believe in Mike McCarthy, huh?
After
I do not believe in Mike McCarthy.
What the Niners did to them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I understand.
You remember Zeke's final play as a Cowboy? I can't stop thinking about that play, man.
Yeah, well, Zeke never should have been in the game. He's been washed for 3 years. He lost me 2 fantasy leagues in a row.
Well, you didn't put him as long snapper. You kept putting him as running back. He's
You fool.
clearly a center.
You fool.
Remember, that game went down to the wire. That game did go down to the wire.
Technically speaking, yes. Technically speaking, they had a shot to win, and that's why Zeke was playing
One
center.
position game.
This is a Niners win for me.
This is a Niners win as well for me.
At home, Sunday Night Football. I think they take care of business.
Following week, they are at Cleveland. This is a W for the 49ers as well.
Speaking of taking care of business, yeah. Take out the trash.
A get-right game after Owen has picked him for a loss. Week
Yeah.
7, I have them.
One.
It is at Minnesota. Again, we've already done our NFC North projections. If you guys want to hear more, go back 2 episodes, listen to it. They are at Minnesota on October 23rd. I have already picked this as a San Francisco W. Owen has already picked this as a San Francisco loss. Chandler, you are the tiebreaker again.
My thought was I don't think they win this week and the next week. I think they've dropped in one of these 2 games, and I felt away on Monday Night Football. Granted, it is going against primetime Kirk Cousins. I think they lose this week against Minnesota.
Okay. All right. So this is your first loss at Minnesota. I think that's fair. Yeah. I think that feels right.
Starting out 6-0, they ripped off 6 in a row here, and it's a good Minnesota team. I'd expect Minnesota to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Good enough to maybe upset this 49ers team. Which brings us to the following week. They are back at home against Cincinnati. A very interesting... Is this a Sunday Night Football or a Monday Night Football? Or
Is not. Minnesota was a Monday Night Football. This one is just a normal game.
Oh.
Kind of shocked.
Oh, you guys all picked primetime Kirk. Oh, you fools. You fools.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
I did
my.
pick a primetime Kirk. I was aware.
Oh, no. October 29th, they're back at home against Cincinnati. This is everybody will be saying this is a Super Bowl preview. It could be a Super Bowl preview. Give me San Francisco. We got to pick losses for the Bengals somewhere, and I think this is where one of those losses happens.
I think that San Francisco is actually the nightmare matchup for Cincinnati.
Sorry,
As we saw in the playoffs last year, Cincinnati struggles against teams that are really good at running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You remember they almost lost to Tyler Huntley, that trash Ravens team. Remember they almost lost.
Snoop Huntley? Yeah.
Yeah, so
They should have lost that
San
playoff
Francisco, game. I'm taking San Francisco -7 on this game.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I think this is a San Francisco win. I think San Francisco is a hard place to play, and I feel like this could be a coin toss game. If this game's in Cincinnati, I'd probably pick the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. So that brings us to their bye week at week 9. I have them at 8-0. Owen has them at 6-2. Chandler has them at 7-1. The following week, though, November 12th, they are at Jacksonville. And I think the hype will be building around these San Francisco 49ers, and everybody will be so excited about them. And I think they're going to come out of the bye week and lay a big old goose egg in Jacksonville and have a weird loss where Trevor Lawrence goes crazy on this team for no reason. Actually, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this one. You guys are just shocked.
I actually fully agree.
Oh.
I'm predicting a weird game. For some reason, Jacksonville seems to be a weird place to play for some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why. And I think Jacksonville ended their season last year like winning 8 games in a row. Obviously, that they lost to you guys in the playoffs, but I think they ended their season last year. It was either 6 or 8 games in a row, so I expect Jacksonville to keep some good momentum going from last year. And so, I think Jacksonville wins this game.
I do not. I think that Jacksonville is good. I don't think they're at the Niners level yet. Coming out of a bye,
I mean, he's no Andy Reid. Kyle Shanahan's no Andy Reid out of a bye week, but that's fair.
Yes, but remember, Kyle Shanahan's good in one spot, the regular season.
That's fair. The following week, they are back at home. They get to host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a get-right game of all get-right games. Give me San Francisco back on track. They'll beat the hell out of them. Everybody's back on the San Francisco 49ers train. The following week, November 23rd. So that's a Thursday night football game. Is that Thanksgiving? Or is Thanksgiving?
It is Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving? Interesting. So they're the Thursday night... They're the Thursday night Thanksgiving game. They're at Seattle. I'm actually going to take Seattle here. And again, I think we have to pick losses for this San Francisco team somewhere. And it's going to be weird ones. And I think on the road in division games, on Thanksgiving, on weird days, I think this is it.
Geno Smith The clock is striking midnight. His Cinderella slippers are turning back into glass, and his carriage is turning back into a pumpkin.
He's got too many good receivers, man.
Yeah, but the Niners have too many good everything else.
Tyler never drops a red zone target, Emaw Lockett, as they call him.
I agree with you, Truman. I think in division Thursday night on the road. I think this is going to be a pretty good Seattle team.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a Seattle win, San Francisco loss.
Yep. They then travel to at Philly on December 3rd. I think they're going to lose this game and have everybody wondering if they're pretenders. Maybe.
No, they're going to win this game.
Okay. In Philly?
Yes. Philadelphia beat a janitor and then the janitor's cousin at quarterback last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then they took the Chiefs to the brink. Stop. We can probably all agree that the Philadelphia Eagles were the second best, if not the third best team in football last year.
The Philadelphia Eagles are winning 11 or 12 games next year. They are not winning anywhere near that. I'm taking them under 12.5.
A lot of turnover on the defense. They did have their staff stripped, but I can't get behind you on this one.
The Super Bowl hangover is real and will happen to you.
Yeah, will happen to like other teams, but not the Chiefs.
Well, the other teams don't have Patrick Mahomes.
That's true. Although the Chiefs did lose the Super Bowl the year after winning it, so something to think about there.
Well, the losing team, the Niners, fell apart into oblivion.
They did fall apart into oblivion.
His injury, I think, right? Didn't Garoppolo have?
And then the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Mahomes reversed the curse. The Buccaneers fell apart after winning the Super Bowl.
Is Trey Lance gonna start for the 49ers?
I saw Purdy is the day one starter.
Purdy's,
Yeah,
and I think that's the correct answer.
Yeah, I mean, kid went 7-0.
Yeah. As a K-State fan, I still can't believe that we're all like, "Wow, Brock Purdy should be the starter." That feels weird to say.
Purdy also played against janitors as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm fucking sick of this.
Real estate agents.
Chip.
Did you see his stretch? They scored like 17 points, like twice.
I think he was
you right
impressive
now,
enough.
if I told you right now, Truman, if I tell you right now,
job is
the
finished.
The Chiefs are scoring 21 points in next week's game.
Yes.
You're saying loss.
Probably.
Yeah.
If you're a Niners fan, that's like a 14-point W.
Yeah, but that's how the team's built, man.
Quarterback, they are not quarterback dependent.
No.
Doesn't mean that Brock Purdy's good.
He still has Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle and Brian Ayuk. Right?
That's good enough.
You want to have George Kittle at this point this season?
that's
You
probably
have that
fair.
injury bug. That's a real thing.
Okay, so they're at Philly. Oh, and you still pick this as a 49ers W. Chandler, what do you have this as?
I think it's a loss. I think Philly's really good, and hard place to play.
Listen, all I said was that the Niners team is good. I'm trying to temper everyone's expectations here for Brock Purdy. Okay, let's relax.
Okay. The following week, December 10th, they get to come back home and face Seattle. This is the game where everybody says, well, are they pretenders? And then I think they beat the hell out of Seattle.
Yep.
No. Seattle's going to hit them back for the random counterpunch.
Oh, because you had them losing.
Are together.
We're in lockstep. Lockstep. Yeah. I guess I've got an extra W up here, but yeah, other than that, we're lockstep.
Few ones.
Yeah. And Owen is on the opposite of us.
Yeah, I think they start going on a run here. I think they beat Seattle. They killed them the 3 games they played them last year, and I think this is a return to form.
Gotcha. December 17th, we've already picked this game. It was at Arizona. We have this all as a W for San Francisco, which brings us to the Christmas Day game against Baltimore on, I believe that's Monday Night Football?
Monday. Yep.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
Baltimore will not win this game. It's lucky it's San Francisco. If it was reverse, we might be thinking other things, but I think those jet lag hangover effects don't really happen as much on Monday night. And actually, maybe we'll have the reverse, where the Baltimore Ravens will be sleepy because they'll be playing from essentially 9 p.m. to, 10 p.m. to midnight, or whatever. So, or I guess it still starts early, even when it's Monday. I don't know. I don't know how all that math works out. But so actually, give me the 49ers here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Agreed.
Which brings us to our New Year's Eve matchup against they're at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are trash. Give me the Niners.
The Commanders are gonna win because the Niners fans aren't allowed any happiness, and they're gonna drop the #1 overall seed by losing this game.
Wow. To who? Who's taking the 1 seed? Eagles?
The Eagles.
Somebody in the NFC is gonna be good, but this Niners team is really good, but they're not good enough to be a 14-win team. In my opinion.
Okay.
Fair.
I think this is a win.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's W as well. I think Sam Howell is going to have a rude awakening. I think he's going to have a rude awakening all season, and then this is really going to be the cherry on top, where you see, oh fuck me, is Tyrod Taylor the backup in? Well, is somebody where? Oh, Jacoby Brissett is the backup in Washington for Sam Howell, and I believe like last game of the season you're going to see Jacoby Brissett because Sam Howell just gets the shit kicked out of him in this New Year's Eve matchup against the 49ers. But, which then, that all brings us to the final week of the season. They are hosting the Los Angeles Rams. We all have this as a San Francisco W from earlier, which wraps up the season. I have the 49ers at 14-3, and Chandler and Owen both have them at 13-4, and as a group, we've picked them at 13-4. So there you go.
Vegas is not like giving a lot of wins to folks.
No.
They have Niners at 10.5.
I think they have the Chiefs at 11.5. So
looks like Bengals, Chiefs.
Why do they keep doing this to the Chiefs? I don't understand. I'm gonna hit the over again. They had us at 10.5 last year. They're like, I guess one more win. Our schedule is easier this year.
It is easier this year. But people will still say it's a killer schedule, and I'm like, it's a easy schedule. I like our schedule this year. So, but, so there you go. We all have the Rams, or we have the Niners going 14-3, 13-4, 13-4, and 13-4. That's probably your division winner, I would have to argue. But
all right, Seattle time.
I know. I guess we will solve all of that. We'll figure out if that is your division winner as we take a look here at the Seattle Seahawks for our final team prediction before we get into our top 5 players. And then we'll be out of here. But starting off, the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams. For those keen-eye viewers keeping track at home, we've already picked this game, and we picked this all as a Rams W to open the season. Week 2, they are at Detroit. Again, we've already picked the NFC North, and me and Owen both picked this as a Detroit W, oddly enough.
I agree. Detroit's going to be fun, man. And maybe if it was in Seattle, it might feel a little differently. But I feel like that Detroit offense is just going to be electric. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Week 3, they get to host the Carolina Panthers. Welcome to the NFL, Bryce Young. This is going to be a rude awakening. Give me Seattle Seahawks over the Carolina Panthers.
Agreed.
Yeah. Nah, no.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a yes, no, or no yes? I can't tell.
That was a yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, okay. October 2nd, they are at the New York Giants. Monday Night Football. God. If this team is going to get down to the wild card, I think they lose weird games like this. I think they lose to the New York Giants on Monday Night Football.
I am not a New York Giants. I'm taking this as Seattle win.
Gotcha. That's fair. Owen?
Yeah. Give me the Giants.
Give you the Giants. Oh. Okay. So
yeah,
we're
Saquon, new contract buff,
Yeah, he really Saquon got paid, man. He got paid.
Wasn't it like the franchise tag was 10 mil?
Yeah.
Now this one is 11 mil?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, just dumb. I think it was even something like 10.1 or 10.5.
Yeah.
Like it was just flat 11. I thought it was just flat 1 year later.
No. The franchise tag was like 10.1 or 10.5.
Yeah. He's
I
probably
think
got
there's some
like,
weird things.
He's probably got some like bonuses for shit. I don't know.
Sure, yeah,
Probably.
could be.
Just weird stuff going on with running backs getting paid right now. That's all I got to say about that. Maybe we'll talk more as the season goes on. So that gets them into their bye week at week 4. I am at 2-2. Owen has them at 2-2, and Chandler has them at 3-1. High on the Seahawks. Week 6.
Very early bye week. That's really rough.
That early bye weeks suck, and I think the Chiefs might have another early bye week this year. But week 6, they are at the Cincinnati Bengals, and again, if you're going to get down to the wild card, I think this is a game that you lose.
Yeah, they'll lose in this one for sure.
Agreed. I think they lose this game.
Fair enough. Week 7, though, they get their get right game. They're back at home against the Arizona Cardinals. We've already all picked this as an Seattle W. The following week, though, October 29th, they get to host Cleveland in Seattle. I have this as Seattle W. I just don't believe in Cleveland that much.
I agree. I think it's a Seattle win.
Give me Cleveland. Cleveland's not going 2-13, so they need to have some wins on the schedule.
Yeah, and these games like this are one of those that ends up being kind of toss-ups, so I guess I can see where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
But the following week, Seattle has to go to Baltimore. I think this is an L.
I agree.
Yeah.
Lockstep.
Yeah,
Lockstep.
lost.
So this one, you believe that Baltimore is good enough to win this one?
Well, Baltimore's better than Seattle.
What? Man, what?
Yeah.
Whoa.
What? Okay. All right.
You know, I guess Baltimore did win 10 games last year. Seattle only won 9, but
They didn't even have fun. That's true. Who you guys say is really good.
I hate talking
That's pretty good.
I hate talking sports with you every week, Owen. anytime we talk about the Baltimore Ravens,
Hey, remember, dude, you can moan and groan about my takes all you want, but at the end of the day, I am the best.
name still comes first on the show, I guess. November 12th, Seattle gets to come back home to see the Washington Commanders, and boy, is that a sight for sore eyes. Give me the Seattle W here.
Give me Seattle as well.
Seattle dub.
Yep. The following week, they are at the Los Angeles Rams. We have already picked this. I picked this as a loss for Seattle. Owen picked this as a loss for Seattle, but Chandler picked this as a W for the Seahawks. And then the following week, they get to host San Francisco at home on November 23rd, the Thanksgiving Day game, or the night game, as we said. I picked this as Seattle W. Chandler picked this as Seattle W. And Owen picked this as Seattle loss, again being low on the Seahawks. November 30th, they are at Dallas. I just want to see where we're at.
Thursday Night Football, Dallas. They
There's-
have back-to-back Thursday Night Footballs, which is the weirdest thing ever. Because they go Thanksgiving to Thursday Night Football.
And so does Dallas, because Dallas always plays on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Very
Nice.
interesting. That is very interesting.
Dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Huh.
Yeah, give me Dallas.
Yeah.
Also down.
I think I'm also down. I think I'm also good with
I
Dallas.
just think that Dallas is better. I think that, that whole Cowboys team is really on this essentially prove-it year.
Mm-hmm.
I think, there's so much uncertainty surrounding that team, just with all of the parts. Like, is Dak, going to be there any longer? Is Mike McCarthy going to get fired? Or is their defensive coordinator going to get fired? Is their O-line coach going to get fired? Like, the only constant I know is that Micah Parsons is going to be there for at least 4 more years. That's, like, all I know about this.
That's fair.
This Cowboys.
I think they do the same thing that they do every year, and they win, 12 to 11 games, unimpressively, go to the playoffs and lose. I think they're... And then I think Mike McCarthy finally gets fired for doing that, just like Jason Garrett finally got fired for doing that.
probably.
Yeah.
The following week, though, they get to host Philadelphia at home.
Or
What?
yeah.
I have this actually as a Seattle W. I think
Wow.
I'm gonna pick it. It's weird, but I have this feeling about Philadelphia traveling
The coast to
and
coast.
playing a late December game in Seattle. I mean, that could be rainy and just a gross game. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Philadelphia is gonna regress, but I feel like Seattle's gonna regress more.
You've made that clear. So you have Philadelphia winning here.
Yeah.
I think this is the Seattle loss.
That's fair. I think that's fair. The following week, they're at Tennessee on Christmas Eve. I believe the Tennessee Titans will be a terrible football team this year. I'm going to pick, but it'll probably be Will Levis by this point, which will be interesting. But I'm going to take Seattle over Tennessee here.
I'm also gonna take Seattle, but I think Tennessee is a team to watch to see if their defense can just carry them
Yeah.
towards the playoffs.
I think Vrabel's a good coach, and he can make weird things happen, as you guys know.
As we
last
know.
season.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he can make weird things happen. But again, I think this is a Seattle win.
And then December 31st, the New Year's Eve game, they get to host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me a weird Steelers W here. They're going to be like 7-8. Everybody's like, this is it, and then they win this game, and then they win the last game, and they go 9-8.
I'm with you on the record area, but I'm going for a win here.
Fair.
I think this is also a Seattle win. I think they're will start heating up here for the playoffs and fighting for a wild card spot.
Fair enough. So that means, and then the final week of the season, January 7th, they're at Arizona. Again, we've already picked this game. I again said that Seattle will be fighting for a wild card spot in this week. I have this as a dub for Seattle. Owen has this as a dub for Seattle, and Chandler has this as a dub for Seattle. So that means our final season totals end up at 9-8 for me, 8-9 for Owen, and Chandler ends up at a crisp 11-6.
So, if I can briefly take the stand and try to talk through
Sure.
my logic here.
Sure.
Gino's, of course, the wild card in this. I'm going to assume he plays around where he played last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to come in and make a huge impact. And that's adding to a team with DK and Tyler Lockett.
Sure.
Kenneth Walker, as a rookie last year, looked like a stud.
Mm-hmm.
I have no reason to think that he won't have that second-year running back bump that we typically see with these type of guys. On the defensive ends, they've got great safeties in Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs. They get Bobby Wagner back, which I think is pretty important, if not only to have like a veteran, generally a great veteran linebacker, but one who's been in that system for like a decade.
Right.
Tariq Woolen was a rookie corner for them last year.
And he was great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Got kind of overshadowed by Sauce Gardner, but he was a great corner.
Yep. And
then that kid Witherspoon that they also drafted this year, a lot of people are thinking he's one of the steals as another great rookie corner.
Well, that's one of those things where Seattle just hits on draft picks.
Yeah.
Also, they went like 5 for 5 last year, and they could go another 4 for 5. If they go 3 for 5 this year, they'll be in the playoffs again.
Yeah. So I see this as a team that performed very well last year at a 9-8 record, and I think they got better, and I think they have a lot of young players that are exceptionally good, and I'd expect them to play a little bit better this year. So that's my case for the 11 wins. So,
you know, I agree with you, but I already made my picks, and I can't change them now, so it's too late.
Fair enough.
He's a man of his word.
Maybe I should have opened. Maybe I should have started with that.
I totally forgot that JSN went to the Seahawks. That wide receiver
that's kind of nasty,
is insane.
Man. It's pretty gross. I don't know what you're gonna do. Someone's gonna be open.
I still do think that Gino's gonna regress. Yeah. But he's certainly got the whole team behind him on the offense.
And if he does regress, I think your 8-9 might just be right on the money. But you know that's the big wild card in this team, right? So we'll see.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah, I think the NFC as a whole regresses though. So I think 8-9 might get you a wild card spot.
It could. NFC's not very good.
That's it. All right. Well, that gets us through all of our picks. We all have San Francisco winning, including the group. I think that's fair. I think that's the consensus right now for the NFC West, and I don't think. I hope we're, at the very least, if this all goes haywire, we'll be judged as prisoners of the moment, where everybody believes that the San Francisco 49ers are going to be very good this year.
With the best roster in the NFC West.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I love about these segments is that we choose all the games before the season, before we really know anything.
Yeah.
Because the NFL as a whole is a league that changes so rapidly year to year.
Right.
I mean, think about it. The Rams won the Super Bowl in 2021 and were dog shit last year.
It's true.
They went with the fuck them Pitts mentality, right? So.
Yeah, you get one or two injuries, and all of a sudden you have like 7 wins.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That's what I really like about this stuff, and I could very well see Seattle winning the division, but not right now. So I'm very excited to watch the NFC West once again be one of the most exciting divisions in football, honestly.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, well that brings us finally to our favorite segment, a little top five players in the NFC West. As always, to show an example, I can go first here while Owen rapidly draws up his list and Chandler reads back through what he has already thoughtfully typed out. I'm going to start here with my number 5, and this is going to be a weird one. I have Matthew Stafford as my number 5. Wow. I think he's probably the best quarterback in the division. Feels weird to say. I mean, I think he's probably better right now than Kyler Murray. I trust him more than I trust Geno, and I trust him more than I trust Brock Purdy. So I put Matthew Stafford at number 5 here.
Okay.
Number 4, this is where I'm going to put George Kittle. And again, Kittle would be higher, but he just gets fucking hurt every year. If he could stay healthy, he'd be probably top 2 in this division. But he doesn't. So he's not. Number 3 here, I'm going to go DK Metcalf. Big fan of DK Metcalf. Just a monster of a dude. And I got a big shout out to DK Metcalf. Maybe not even the best wide receiver on his team, but for the sake of the purpose, for this, I don't know, for all intents and purposes, number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list is Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey bounced back as I thought he finally would. He had a pretty good year. He performed very solidly. I'm going to put him at number 2 here. And number 1, it's got to be everybody's number 1, right? Aaron Donald. He's got to be the best player in the NFC West, even if he was a little hurt last year. Until he retires, he's the best player in the NFC West, unless somebody wins an MVP. So, running back through the list, number 5, Stafford. Number 4, Kittle. Number 3, DK Metcalf. Number 2, Christian McCaffrey. Number 1, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Yeah.
I'm done with my list, so I'll go next so that Chandler can top us off with an actually informed list.
Right, I'm about to say, I think it's always funny, me and Owen go, and we don't pick any defensive players. We always forget to do that. And somebody goes, dude, you totally forgot about it. And we're like, oh my god, that's right. So we like to have you guys go last.
So, I think there is someone you forgot about.
So
no.
No.
Number 5, I'm going with George Kittle. I think this is where he belongs. He has one of the highest ceilings of any of the players in the division if he could just stay healthy. He fits perfectly into what the Niners need him to do, which is really important for a playing team. Number 4, this is where I put DK Metcalf.
Oh my god! Fuck! I'm gonna say it after you said it. I just realized who the fuck I forgot. Oh my god!
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's really bad, dude.
I feel like I'm about to forget it. Anyway, number 4, DK Metcalf. Number 3, this is where I put Tariq Woolen. He's he had an electric rookie season, and most of those corners they don't really lose it after having a great showing in their early spots of their career. So I'll put it at 3, and then same top 2 is Truman, CMC.
Oh my god, you forgot him too. Oh my god. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait till Chandler says it so that Owen can also react whenever Chandler says it. But
once again, he's probably on the defense. We'll see.
He is. But I would slot this guy in at number 2. By the way, whatever it said.
No! Oh
same guy.
I know who
We're
it
thinking of
is.
the same guy. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna actually start with a couple honorable mentions because there's just a fucking lot of good folks. Trent Williams, left tackle for the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best left tackles in the entire NFL.
That's fair.
Fred Warner, the undisputed best linebacker in the NFL.
Forgot about Fred Warner as well. Yep.
Undervalued position because, like, who cares about linebackers? But
especially
Fred
middle
Warner,
linebackers. Yeah.
Wait, me? I care about linebackers? Hold on.
Shut up, nerd. He's gonna go grab his Nick Bolton jersey.
All right, so
God.
I'm gonna put Budda Baker in here. I still think he's a solid safety. Again, safety's maybe not the most valuable position in the NFL, but I think it's worth it.
There you go. There's his Nick Bolton.
There it is.
Yeah.
And then I think I want to mention DK, of course. I think he's one of the better receivers inside of this division. But then I don't know. I wanted to put Tariq Woolen in here, but it is just 1 year, so we'll see.
Fair enough. All right.
Okay, number 5. I'm starting with Cooper Kupp. I think 2 years ago he had maybe the greatest season a wide receiver has literally ever had, capped off with the Super Bowl MVP.
Fuck me, I forgot that we also forgot Cooper Kupp. Oh my God.
He was hurt all of last year, which is the only reason why I kept him at 5. But yeah, I think when healthy, he's easily one of the best, and you can maybe even argue the best wide receiver in the NFL. So put him at 5 just because he was hurt. 4, I think I'm going to put Kittle here just because I think he's second best tight end in the NFL and such a staple on that offense. And underrated, he's actually like a killer blocker too, which is very huge to what San Francisco does.
Mm-hmm.
3, I'm sliding in Donald.
Whoa.
Similar thing.
Whoa.
I just feel like he was hurt and he was old. I feel like I need to. He's been excellent, amazing, top of the class, best defensive tackle probably of all time. But he's hurt. He's on the back end of his career here. We'll see what he can come back and do. Same thing. Just he got hurt. I feel like I didn't want to drop him to 3. I'm gonna go 2 CMC. Because I feel like I feel like he was pretty good in Carolina, and I feel like if he was on any other team, he would just be like a really, really good running back. But San Francisco is just so damn tailor-made to him and what he's supposed to do. I think he's benefiting a lot from the system that he's in, but he's also an exceptional Swiss Army knife for that offense. Number 1, guys. Nick
Bosa. I'm so sorry, Nick Bosa.
When healthy, is he not like the most weird guy on the defensive line in the entire NFL?
I know. I forgot pass rush Limbaugh, dude. I can't believe it.
Myles Garrett and
oh gosh,
that's really good. I like that a lot.
I've never heard that.
Never heard pass rush Limbaugh? Oh yeah, dude.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my list. I'm really shocked when I did not hear Nick Bosa because I think he is probably one of the most feared defensive players in the NFL.
Yes, I have.
Into my heart every single time Kyler gets under center.
Man.
I've moved him to my number 2 slot. I have moved Stafford out of my top 5.
I have integrity. My list will not change, unfortunately.
Wow.
Are you sure?
I didn't even mention Debo. I should have put Debo in my honorable mentions.
Honestly, I'd also kind of forgot about Debo.
I think Debo should probably be on my.
Even we were talking about the San Francisco offense earlier. I forgot about Debo. So interesting.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Bosa deserves to be in the top 5, but it's funnier if I leave him.
That is fair. Owen will do a lot of things for the bit.
Dude, the USA Today is literally calling me right now. They're like, "Nice takes, brother."
So, can we quote you?
What did you say? What did you say? Chargers Super Bowl? That's right. Write that down.
Wow.
Again. They do it every year. I can only assume they did it again this year.
Probably.
Actually, they probably switched to picking the Bengals. Probably.
No. This is obviously Eagles for USA.
I can see that. But that's reasonable.
Yeah, right. So we can't do that. It's gotta be like Ravens or something.
Wow. Okay. So do I even ask like large scale predictions? who's your contenders? If I were to, who are the teams that if I told you a year from today this team won the Super Bowl, would you not be
I
shocked?
think there's 4 clear ones.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just the championship games from last year.
Yep. Uh,
And I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills won it. I'd be a little shocked, but I'd be like, oh, good for them, finally.
Yeah, that wouldn't be ridiculous.
so Bengals, Chiefs, Eagles, Niners. I
Yep.
agree. I'd say those are your contenders. Bills can maybe sneak in there and be a little dangerous.
I believe the Bills are fading, and they do not want to accept that. And that's honestly, it makes me almost sad because when the Chiefs were coming up, I was like, damn, the Bills are going to be like our rivals forever. And then they just kind of been bad, or they just can't get it done. I'm like, oh, never mind, I guess.
As Chiefs fans, who our main rivals were the Patriots for a long time, so like that fan base is just horribly toxic. But the Bills were coming up, and Truman actually had a spat with some Bills fans, but at least they weren't bandwagon fans.
I did.
And they were they have pictures of Bills players from the 80s in their profile picture.
I did keep my receipts and then tweeted at a lot of Bills fans to hold my nuts after the AFC Championship game. That was I streamed. It was a whole stream of like 30 minutes of me just saying, hold my nuts, hold my nuts. Just tweeting at people, hold my nuts, hold my nuts.
I forgot you did that.
Because there's a bunch of Bills fans like, they were under some quarterback post about Mahomes and Josh Allen, and they're like, well, it was like weeks 8 through 11. They're like, you can't tell me that Josh Allen hasn't been a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes the last 3 weeks. And I was like, I'm not gonna say that because you guys are implying that he's better right now and he's peaking at the right time, and that's just not true. You guys are gonna lose when you play the Chiefs. They're like, but Josh Allen has been better the last 3 weeks. I was like, it doesn't matter. None of that matters.
Okay. I don't think you guys would disagree with me. I feel like right now, Mahomes has sort of asserted himself as indisputably the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
I personally feel like Burrow hopped Allen for me as number 2.
I think so.
We agree with that, yeah.
Because Allen just chokes. He's a choker, man. It's just...
Or, I have no statistical reason to do this. It's just every time I watch him play, I'm just like, holy shit. I kind of want to put Herbert at 4, and maybe that's undeserved. I think he's really, really good.
In the AFC, I'm fine with that.
It's weird because every time I see Herbert, I see everybody's really high on Herbert, and I don't blame you for being high on Herbert. Listen, I get it, but at the same time, he just doesn't win. He doesn't win games. How does doing all that stuff? How does he just crazy and he doesn't win?
They had like the 32nd rush defense in the NFL last year. Like it was a cheat code. You want to beat the Cardinals? We lost to them by 1 point. We had no business being in that game, and we probably should have beat them. But
I get the feeling that the
thing about Herbert is that he's getting into. Last year, he got into what Josh Allen is currently doing. Well, even Josh Allen didn't throw that many interceptions. But Herbert always seemed to make the critical mistake.
Yes.
He seemed like, to me, like what Alex Smith was for the Chiefs for all those years. He was really good at winning games, but at the same time, also very good at losing them.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. We had a clip last 2 years ago or a year ago that got a bunch of I don't like 4,000 likes on TikTok, and that's not a bunch of likes, but they got likes. It got views, and it was us talking about Mahomes and Allen being the next Brady, Manning, and we were talking about somebody has to be Phillip Rivers, and we're like, well, that's Lamar Jackson or whatever, and all this stuff. But at this point, I think Mahomes. I think Mahomes is Brady. I think Burrow is Manning, where they're gonna duke it out a bunch. And sometimes, whenever there was a couple times Manning got past Brady and lost in the Super Bowl, and vice versa, and all that stuff. But and then I think it could be Justin Herbert is what I get the vibe for being for Drew Brees now. Where Drew Brees just would blow you away, and you're like, how did this guy not win an MVP ever, or a Super Bowl ever, or he only won 1 Super Bowl, but at least he got there. I get the feeling that Allen is going to be like Phillip Rivers, where he just never gets there.
Well,
No, Breeze only won
on
the
that
one.
point-
It only went to the one.
Only went to
Sorry,
one.
sorry. Go ahead, Chandler.
No, that was it. I was just asking if
Well-
I can remember if he went to one or two.
So the thing is, though, guys, about this specific topic, is that we're really gonna find out who is this quarterback, like this year and then
Yeah.
also next year are 2 vital years because contracts.
Yep.
The Chiefs have shown that they can work with Mahomes' contract,
Mhm.
have talent surrounding them, and keep the team really young and good.
Yep.
It's now time for the Bills and the Bengals, and now that they've signed Herbert, the Chargers, to do the same thing.
The Bengals
And
are
that's-
about to lose one of those wideouts, and the Chargers probably going to lose Mike Williams. Plain simple.
And the Bengals are going to lose their defense too, which people keep forgetting about the Bengals, that their defense is good.
Their defense was all right. It was solid.
So we're really going to find that out because Mahomes has already shown that he can win with whoever, and that's the most important part about being a quarterback that wins a bunch of Super Bowls.
Holmes
that-
and Reed, man.
Yeah,
Think about
Mahomes
it.
and Reed.
Tom Brady put Julian Edelman in a spot where some people, delusionally, however, think that Julian Edelman is a Hall of Famer.
True. Hey, he had that one really cool catch in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl MVP, Julian Edelman.
Yeah, he also touched that ball in the AFC Championship, and I will never let that go.
He did it.
That shit hit
He did
his
it.
thumb for sure.
He did it. I think it hit the pinky. He did it.
There you go.
All right. Speaking of conspiracies, that's our what San Antonio Holmes only had 1 foot down.
Yeah.
That's ours. Is that Julian
Man, come
Edelman's
on,
finger
he had
touched
2,
that
right? He had 2, right?
I think he had to. I remember that was a big thing. I was pretty young when the Super Bowl happened. I
Yeah.
was like just moved to Arizona.
Yeah.
But I remember that was the big thing, and I remember looking it up as an adult and watching the video. I was like, oh, his feet are like what? Like,
Well, yeah, because
he's just a crazy Cardinal fan. It's
but
like, what
but
the-
back then, like, you know, there wasn't that much replay, and I think
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Like, first glance, you're like, no way, that's a catch. That's so out of bounds. And then like they slow it down, you're like, that is
Oh
just
my
simply
god.
the
Oh my
greatest
god.
catch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and then it was it Rodney Harrison with the interception that he returned for a touchdown on like some or was it a fumble? He had some fluke crazy defensive touchdown thing in there too.
Oh yeah, Rodney Harrison had the 99-yard fumble
Yeah.
recover or pick 6 or
Yeah,
something
because-
like that.
Because if I
I
remember
just
correctly,
remember,
also
like
in that
rumbled
game,
all the way.
Larry Fitzgerald went like 10
Yep.
catches, 150 yards, and 2 TDs.
He went
or
off.
something.
Yeah. Wait, was it Hines Ward or was it San Antonio Holmes?
It was
It was
San
San-
Antonio.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if it was one of those. I think Hines Ward had the better game, but and maybe
Hines Ward
even
did.
almost had an MVP or something. But so I couldn't
Holmes had
remember.
the catch.
But San Antonio Holmes had the catch. So there you go.
Yeah,
Are-
the bathroom bandit also stole the Super Bowl trophy that year. So.
Ooh, the bathroom bandit, old
Bathroom, man.
Big Ben, Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh,
Speaking of people
Big
who,
Ben.
speaking of AFC North quarterbacks who should probably be in jail. All right, let's get out of here. We do appreciate Chandler. We appreciate you for coming on. Hey, but also, I don't want to forget, we do appreciate our Patreon members over there at patreon.com/overdisaster. Big shout out Skylar, Joe, Aaron, Mailbox Kansas City, and Dylan. We appreciate all of you guys over there. Chandler, we really do appreciate you for coming on, and we appreciate your music. We appreciate we appreciate
If you're ever wondering what Chandler exclamation point looked like, congratulations. You got a whole
Yeah.
hour and a half.
There you go. Chandler.
There you go.
It's Chandler. Yes, Chandler exclamation point over on
I
Spotify.
tried doing just Chandler, but there's 90 people on Spotify that have just Chandler, and I tried all uppercase, and there's even more. I
Oh my
tried all
gosh.
lowercase, and there's a little bit less, but still 30.
Oh gosh.
And Chandler exclamation point only had 5 other people. So
Damn, I was about to say 1 of 1, baby, and I was like, oh,
God.
1 of 5, baby.
1 of 5, baby. Let's do it.
Yes.
I've got it. You got to change your A to a 4. Then it's
Ooh, that's the move.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks so much for having me on, guys. Really appreciate the support with the
Chandler, you're
music.
awesome.
If you want me to cook up a brand new intro, shoot me a reference, shoot me something. We can cook something up, get in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Never mind.
Okay. All right. We appreciate it. I'll get the outro music playing just so you guys have a face to the to the reference here. But again, I've been true Steam Machine Steen. You guys follow me over there on Twitter, TikTok, Steam Machine, all the stuff. Owen, you can follow him, Owen Gosh Dahm there on Twitter. I don't think he does anything on TikTok. We do this every week, and I'm always like, follow him on TikTok. Don't follow him on TikTok. Chandler, anything else to shout out?
No socials. Find my one song on Spotify.
Yes, there you go. It was Emily's song on Spotify.
That's the
Emily's song, Chandler, exclamation point. I guess I ruined the kind of scavenger hunt we created. But thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll appreciate you. We'll see you next week for another Dahm That's True. Bye.